Tonight, breaking news, Christie drops out of the race for president, but not before a hot mic picked up what he was saying about Nikki Haley. Also breaking, the deadly avalanche in the U.S., the search and rescue. The images coming in now. In the Northeast, rescues from the floods, and now the new storm set to move in. First tonight, the breaking news just in, Christie out of the race 5 days before the first voting in Iowa. Tonight, what Christie said about his decision and the most important issue for anyone running for president, he says. And that hot mic moment right beforehand, what he said about Nikki Haley. Rachel Scott in Iowa. The search and rescue, the deadly avalanche in California. Skiers buried in the snow. Search teams battling heavy snow, brutal cold, and winds gusting up to 100 miles an hour to find the victims. The images coming in tonight. In the Northeast, the flood emergency playing out, high water rescues, a potential dam breach forcing evacuations, homes surrounded by water. And now the new storm set to sweep across the country again. It could bring significant snow to some states. Rob Marciano here to time it out. The stunning moment on Capitol Hill today. Hunter Biden arriving unannounced. Just as Republicans were planning to vote to hold the president's son in contempt of Congress, the hearing then thrown into chaos. Republicans shouting insults. The president's son suddenly walking out. Mary Bruce on the Hill tonight. Here in New York, Donald Trump's plan to deliver his own closing argument in the civil fraud trial against him now in doubt. Trump not agreeing to limits set by the judge to stick to the facts and to the evidence in the case. Tonight, new attacks in the Red Sea, U.S. fighter jets, Navy destroyers, joined by the U.K., shooting down 18 drones and 3 missiles launched by Iranian-backed militants. In New York City tonight, another subway train derails. Passengers pulled to safety. The new warning tonight about plastic water bottles, what scientists believe could also be in the water that you're drinking. And tonight, one of the greatest college football coaches of all time and his big announcement just in.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Wednesday night. We do begin tonight with the breaking news, the major shakeup in the race for president. Former Governor Christie dropping out of the race, but not before a hot mic picked up what he was saying about Nikki Haley. Christie making the announcement just moments ago in New Hampshire, a state on which he had pinned his hopes, but where he trails both Donald Trump and Nikki Haley. Just moments ago, Christie, and what he said is the most important issue for anyone running for president, and what he said about the others unwilling to take on Donald Trump. And there was also the moment that went out live before the whole announcement, what he said about Haley. Rachel Scott on the campaign trail. She's leading us off tonight.
Tonight, just 5 days before the first votes are cast, former New Jersey Governor Christie with that surprise announcement. He is ending his campaign for the White House.
I am going to make sure that in no way do I enable Donald Trump to ever be president of the United States again. And that's more important than my own personal ambition.
But moments before he took the stage, Christie caught on a hot mic attacking his former rival Nikki Haley, who has been surging in the polls.
She's going to get smoked, and you and I both know it. She's not up to this.
Christie then saying this about Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, the audio cutting out mid-sentence.
I talked to DeSantis called me. Petrified that I would.
It's unclear what Christie said DeSantis was petrified about.
Respectfully, Governor.
For months, Christie the lone voice, urging his rivals to turn their fire on frontrunner Donald Trump.
We've had these three acting as if the race is between the four of us.
Today, he was blunt.
This is a fight for the soul of our party and the soul of our country.
Declaring only one thing matters.
All those issues that we've talked about at all the town halls, they're all really important. But they're no more important than the most important issue, and that is the character of the candidate. You don't know what's going to come across the next president's desk. You think you can predict it, but you can't.
Christie with these words to his former rivals about Trump.
Anyone who is unwilling to say that he is unfit to be president of the United States is unfit themselves to be president of the United States.
Of course, in that hot mic moment, it's unclear what exactly DeSantis was talking about. Tonight, sources confirming that the Florida governor did speak to Christie today. DeSantis wishing him well. Nikki Haley commending Christie on a very hard-fought campaign. We are told that Christie does not plan to endorse a candidate in this race for now, but polls have shown that his supporters could turn towards Haley. David.
We'll have to see. Rachel Scott leading us off with the breaking news. Rachel, thank you. The other developing story as we come on tonight, this deadly avalanche in California at a ski resort near Lake Tahoe. Skiers on the trails, buried in snow. The video tonight showing the desperate rescue operation, the race to dig through the snow, some of it at least 10 feet deep. Search teams battling brutal cold and winds gusting to 100 miles an hour at times. ABC's Mola Lenghi tonight with the images coming in.
Tonight, terrifying moments after an avalanche at a ski resort near Lake Tahoe, trapping people under the snow.
There's a slide at the mountain with subjects buried.
Experts saying this was a rare inbound avalanche, one that occurs in a controlled area designated for skiing. One man killed, another person injured, 2 more rescued, according to officials.
This is a very sad day for my team and everyone here.
The debris field 150 feet wide and 10 feet deep. Palisades Tahoe reporting the wall of snow slid down the mountain around 9:30 this morning. Mark Sponsler arrived at the base area, finding the lifts shut down.
Skis were sticking up, poles were all over the place. It was an all-hands-on-deck operation to try to get to people as soon as possible.
It was the season opening day for the K-22 chairlift, touted as one of the greatest expert lifts in America, serving difficult black diamond runs. Marcus Franklin was skiing with a friend when he says he saw the mountain slide right in front of them.
I'm counting my blessings that I wasn't actually involved in the avalanche and that I was able to try to help find people who were.
Capturing first responders scrambling to shovel out this man trapped beneath the snow. He finally stands up, sighs of relief. A major winter storm impacting the area, high avalanche danger, heavy snowfall, and wind gusts of over 100 miles per hour forecasted. An average of 28 people die in avalanches every winter in the U.S., and deaths from inbound avalanches like this one even more rare.
Well, David, inbound avalanches like this are incredibly rare because of prevention measures taken. Things like controlled explosions and ski cutting. These tend to trigger controlled avalanches in closed-off areas. And tonight, David, the ski resort says that investigation is underway.
Just a horrific scene there, Mola. Thank you. Meantime, the flood emergency playing out in several states in the Northeast. Families today rescued by boat. A dam they feared could breach. Rivers now dangerously high. And tonight now, a new storm is set to sweep across the country on a very similar track. This time, it could bring significant snow to many states. Here's senior meteorologist Rob Marciano with the images and the forecast with yet another storm now coming.
Tonight, that powerful storm lashing the Northeast. Howling winds sending waves crashing ashore, inland rivers cresting at major flood stage. In Norwich, Connecticut, neighborhoods and businesses inundated with water. Officials evacuating residents near a dam amid fears the Yantic River could bust open.
Hopefully this dam will not go. That's our biggest fear right now.
Rivers raging from Maryland to New Jersey.
Wow, all that rain on top of the weekend snow has rivers like the Passaic here in New Jersey running high and rising.
In New Milford, New Jersey, first responders using boats and high-water vehicles to rescue residents from flooded neighborhoods.
Thank God for the New Milford, police department and fire department.
Police declaring an emergency due to high seas and flooding in Hampton, New Hampshire. More than 600,000 customers losing power during the storm. Now a race to restore, ahead of a new system moving in just days.
And so let's get right back to Rob tonight. The country can't get a break here. It's like a conveyor belt.
Yeah, they are, David, coming back to back, and that means these rivers that are starting to recede in some cases are going to be bumped back right up. The rivers that start with the P, they seem to be most problematic. If you look at this map, of flood watches have been reposted already for eastern New England for this next storm coming in that's hitting the Tahoe area right now. Winter storm warnings remain up there, watches up all the way to Michigan. Dynamic storm, more high wind coming with this, and severe weather threat beginning as early as tomorrow night across Texas and Louisiana, then ramping up again across the southeast during the day on Friday. Same spots that got hit with the last one. Dynamic storm with a way of snow. More snow, I think, for Chicago this time, pulling back down through St. Louis. Look at the heavy rain moving across the Ohio River Valley as well. All that action gets pushed up into the northeast. So another round of heavy rain and high winds comes Saturday morning. So more flooding and likely more power outages here over the weekend. David?
Rob Marciano back with us tonight. Rob, thank you. We're going to turn now to Washington, the surprise and then the showdown on Capitol Hill when Hunter Biden showed up unannounced, just as Republicans were planning to vote to hold the president's son in contempt of Congress to move forward to the entire House on this. Hunter Biden's appearance in that hearing room and his willingness to answer questions in public in front of the American people and not behind the scenes, outraging Republicans. And then the moment he walked out. Mary Bruce on the Hill tonight.
Tonight, high drama on Capitol Hill.
Mr. Biden, you plan on testifying today?
President Biden's son Hunter surprising lawmakers, walking into a House hearing where Republicans were preparing to hold him in contempt for refusing to testify behind closed doors. Hunter Biden has long said he would answer their questions, but only in public.
The chairman refused to take yes for an answer from Hunter Biden.
Hunter Biden taking a seat right in the front row, the hearing thrown into chaos.
You are the epitome of white privilege, coming into the Oversight Committee, spitting in our face, ignoring a congressional subpoena to be deposed. What are you afraid of? You have no balls to come up here and...
Mr. Chairman, point of inquiry.
Mr. Chairman,
if the gentlelady wants to hear from Hunter Biden, we can hear from him right now, Mr. Chairman. Let's take a vote and hear from Hunter Biden. What are you afraid of?
Hold on.
Democrat Jared Moskowitz of Florida firing right back.
I'm listening to the gentlelady from South Carolina about the witness being afraid to come in front of the committee. It's interesting. He's here. He doesn't seem to be too afraid.
For years, Republicans have tried to tie Hunter Biden's business dealings to his father, but acknowledge they have found no concrete evidence of wrongdoing. Today, he sat silently for 20 minutes when Chairman James Comer called on Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has attacked Hunter Biden in deeply personal terms, Biden walking out.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excuse me, Hunter. Apparently, you're afraid of my words.
Whoa! Oh.
Moments later, Biden's lawyer with this parting shot.
The Republican chairs today, then, are commandeering an unprecedented resolution to hold someone in contempt who has offered to publicly answer all their proper questions. The question there is, what are they afraid of?
That House committee just voting to advance their efforts to hold Hunter Biden in contempt of Congress, or refusing to testify privately, even though he's repeatedly offered to answer their questions, just only in public. And all this coming as Hunter Biden tomorrow is set to be arraigned on charges of tax evasion. David.
Another day on Capitol Hill. Mary Bruce tonight. Mary, thank you. Meanwhile, here in New York City, Donald Trump's plan to deliver his own closing argument in the civil fraud trial against him now very much in doubt. Trump not agreeing to limits set by the judge, who said Trump must stick to the facts and to the evidence in the case. Here's Aaron Katursky.
Tonight, former President Trump's desire to deliver a closing argument himself at his civil fraud trial is in doubt. Trump attended the trial that threatens his real estate business 9 times, and now he wants to close it. His lawyers informing the judge of the highly irregular tactic in an email last week. President Trump plans to present argument at closing. New York Attorney General Letitia James objected, but Judge Arthur Engoron said he would grant the unusual request only if Trump agreed to limit his remarks to relevant material facts that are in evidence and not deliver a campaign speech. The judge also said Trump may not impugn myself, my staff, plaintiff staff, or the New York State court system. Otherwise, the judge threatened to have Trump kicked out of court and fined not less than $50,000. Trump missed a deadline to respond, so the judge said he's assuming Trump is not going to be speaking in court tomorrow. But David, tonight Trump says he still plans to show up and still wants to talk. So we'll see what happens. David?
Eric Katursky, you'll be following it. Thank you. Now to the Middle East tonight, and new attacks by Iranian-backed militants in the Red Sea. U.S. fighter jets and Navy destroyers joined by the UK in shooting down 18 drones and 3 missiles. The White House tonight warning the militants to stop, otherwise they will, quote, bear the consequences. Marcus Moore from Israel tonight.
Tonight, American and British warships repelling the largest attack yet from Iran-backed Houthi rebels targeting commercial ships in the Red Sea. 4 destroyers and fighter jets from the USS Eisenhower intercepting a barrage of 18 drones and 3 missiles. It is just the latest escalation in a string of attacks. Today, the White House pressed on whether the U.S. will retaliate.
We put ships in the Red Sea. They've got a choice to make, and the right choice is to stop these attacks. They'll bear the consequences for failure to do so.
It comes as Secretary of State Antony Blinken meets with leaders across the region in an effort to keep the war from spreading. And the U.S. is pushing Israel to allow more aid into Gaza.
While Israel says it is providing enough to feed the population, the UN still says more than 500,000 families face starvation.
At this border crossing, Israeli officials insist the food is getting through, but they said aid is often intercepted by Hamas and not easily distributed.
We are doing a daily assessment with the best professionals that we have. As much as I understand, there is no shortage of food in Gaza.
David, just a quick word on those attacks in the Red Sea. A U.S. official tells ABC News tonight that the Pentagon has drawn up plans to strike Houthi facilities in Yemen if it becomes necessary. David.
Marcus Moore in Tel Aviv for us. Marcus, thank you. Back here in the U.S., and one more note from the Capitol tonight. While one House committee was voting on Hunter Biden, another committee was moving ahead to try to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. In the 5-hour hearing today, Republicans saying there is, quote, no reasonable alternative to impeaching him for, quote, dereliction in his duty over handling the surge of migrants at the southern border. Meantime, a bipartisan group of senators continues to negotiate over what could be a landmark bipartisan border security package. Mayorkas has been deeply involved in those talks. When we come back here tonight in New York City this evening, another subway train has gone off the tracks. Also, the new and alarming studies tonight about the water you're drinking from plastic bottles, and the college football coaching grade and his big announcement just in tonight. Well, tonight, for the second time in a week, a New York City subway train has gone off the tracks. Emergency crews removing nearly 40 passengers after a car on the F train jumped the elevated tracks on Coney Island. Service disrupted in both directions. No one was hurt. It comes to 6 days, though, after 24 people were injured. The train collided with another train and derailed. This was on Manhattan's Upper West Side there. When we come back, a college football coaching great and his big announcement tonight. We have news on the water in those plastic bottles you're drinking. To the index into one of the greatest college football coaches of all time, now retiring tonight. ESPN reporting that Alabama head coach Nick Saban has told the team he's stepping down. He won 7 national championships, 6 with Alabama. In 28 years as a head coach, he never had a losing season. That is incredible. And in the NFL tonight, after 14 years, Pete Carroll is out as head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. The winningest coach in team history. He led them to a Super Bowl title, of course. Now 72, he will remain with the team as an advisor. There's a new study out tonight about the water in plastic water bottles. The National Academy of Science says the bottles may contain at least 100 times more microscopic pieces of plastic than previously thought, an average of 240,000 nanoplastics per bottle. Scientists say there is not enough evidence to detail any long-term health risk. A spokeswoman for the International Bottled Water Association says the study lacks, quote, standardized methods. When we come back here tonight, the retiring pilot, his final flight, and who was standing right there next to him, the surprise for that plane. Finally tonight, the final flight. Tonight, outside Atlanta, the pilot and his surprise that his family, his passengers didn't see coming. Navy veteran Randy DeGroot spent years stationed around the country and deploying on missions overseas, then becoming a Delta pilot for more than 3 decades. All the while, his wife Karen back home raising the family. And on his final flight before retiring, he had his family right there with him on board. He asked his wife of more than 40 years to stand next to him as he spoke to the passengers.
This is my last flight, and I'm just honored and privileged to be with you all today.
Then introducing them to his wife.
And she's been my wingman throughout the whole time. And today I want to give her a set of wings because I am going to be your wingman.
And right here tonight,
hi, David.
Randy, the pilot.
I just wanted to lift her up and say I love you and appreciate you for all that you did.
Along with him, his wife, and someone else, too.
Hi, David. Thank you so much for having us. This is our new granddaughter, Nora.
His wife, Karen, and their 8-month-old granddaughter, Nora.
We now have a whole new life as a retired couple and new grandparents. So we are loving every minute we can spend with her.
Welcoming a new chapter.
Hi, David.
Tonight, his daughter Laura.
He's loving life and being a wingman for my mom now.
Well, we salute his service, and we're glad Nora got a word in there, too. A great new chapter for that family. I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.